Mayor's virtual? Okay, great. 5:30?
Yep.
All right, then I guess we should begin. Has Jeremy joined us?
I'm here, Jack.
Okay. Good. Mayor, do you want me to preside? Not hearing anything from the mayor.
Hey, just getting on right now.
Okay.
In my car, actually driving, so I apologize. I was trying to connect this to Bluetooth.
Okay, Mayor, do you want me to preside?
Yes, please.
Thank you. All right, so we'll call the December 15th, 2021 meeting of the School Building Committee to order at 5:30 something. And because we're partially virtual, we have to call the roll. So Dave Sawyer?
Here.
Jason Parento? Laurie Reagan? Jackie Romanicki?
Here.
Jerry Freecut?
Here.
Kelly Bennett?
Here.
Bill Rooney?
Here.
Terry DeSisto?
Here.
Scott Domenici?
Here.
Ed Stanton?
Here.
Mark Furtado? Rob Geddes?
Here.
Steve Withers? Mike Tyler? Andrew Acosta?
Here.
Gail Clark? And I'm here, and Mayor, you're here?
Here. Yes, here.
So we have a quorum. So the first thing we need to do is approve the minutes from the October 13th meeting.
So
Is any-
moved. Second.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? We'll call the roll for those in favor. Dave Sawyer,
Yes.
Jackie Romanicki,
Yes.
Jerry Freecut,
Yes.
Kelly Bennett,
Here. Yes.
Bill Rooney,
Yes.
Terry DeSisto,
Yes.
Scott Domenici,
Yes.
Ed Stanton,
Yes.
Rob Geddes,
Yes.
Andrew Acosta.
Yes.
I vote yes. Mayor?
Yes.
Passes unanimously. So, Steve, you're up. And I just want to say thank you on behalf of all of those who were able to attend the site visit today. It's truly an impressive building and a fabulous piece of work by your company. So why don't you give us the construction update and go over whatever logs you need to go over.
Yeah, we'll go a little quicker this month since most of you are already out here today, but we'll show like maybe 4 or 5 slides. We'll try to move quickly. Front of the building, major differences from last month are at the main entrance. A lot of the upper canopy work was done, and then if a lot of that white that you see, the vertical white pieces are finished pieces now on the curtain wall. So that is coming along nicely. We had some missing pieces here and there of the screen wall that have since come in and are in progress. A lot of that work is done on the north building. There's still a little bit to be done on the south building. Various pieces of glass at the corners and different locations that were missing or in progress last month have been installed fully now. We still have over on the right-hand side of the screen, the plywood is still access for deliveries onto each floor. So that's all still intentional right now. Other than that, all on this elevation, all the other glass is in and metal panel. Work continues on the lower canopy in that main entrance there, so you'll see some lifts and workers there for the next month or so to button that up. But the rest of the elevation has come along nicely. We are potentially working at trying to get some curbing done on the exterior here, but is most likely going to wait until the spring for that work, just so it doesn't get damaged during the winter. And then you'll see potentially some exterior light poles and things like that. And if we zoomed into the building real close, there are exterior light fixtures that have been installed on the building as well and underneath under the canopies. Yeah, there you go. There's the vertical exterior lights. So that's different from last month. And then if we switch to the back of the building, a lot more glass has been installed back there as well. The highlight is probably the middle section there. That curtain wall and glass, most of that has been installed. There's still some panels that are outstanding, but a majority of that has been installed. We still have temporary wood doors in place down at that lower level there, just for access, just so nothing gets damaged. We'll keep those in place for quite a while. And then we'll move on into the interior in that section and start working on the main entrances to the gym and the auditorium and the masonry. But from an exterior perspective, most of that curtain wall is in, which is great because we're tightening up the building. And those of you that are in there today, it is actually pretty warm with the temp heat and the amount of glass that has been installed to date, which is exactly what we were hoping for. Other progress on the right-hand side, our access platform, we are starting to finish off the masonry and glass and glazing in that section. So that will be removed next month. That'll be gone completely, and that elevation will be finished. And then we continue to work our way down low on overhead doors, glass, and metal panel in that section, both on that side and on the other side of the cafeteria. And then other major site work that you'll see is the underground retention system. We're starting to excavate and install that. That's a large section where that yellow machine is. They're going to work their way left to right on the screen or towards us on the screen there for the next couple of months installing that. And then anything else you see in the background, those large white tanks are temporary. They're there for our temporary heating system. There's also a temporary heater back there right where the cursor is that does have open flame on the back side of it. So I know a lot of people drive through there at night to go to the other schools, and it is an open flame, but it is intentional. It is not, the building is not on fire. We know it's there. We try to cover it as much as we can so no one gets concerned that there's something on fire, but we just want to let people know that is intentional. And the large white tube tanks that you see are propane tanks that help fuel all of our temporary heat. Those aren't permanent fixtures. Those are just there for the winter. And then if we dive into the building, I think we have a shot of just the main, this is the cafeteria. A lot of overhead work has been complete in there and more drywall finished on the walls around the perimeter, more framing and drywall. So this space is starting to look even more finished. All that glass is in up high in the clear story section there. And then we are starting to work, same thing, we're doing a lot of the overhead work in the cafeteria, the gymnasium as well. And we'll continue with all the overhead work that you see here. And then there's a finished ceiling, or cloud ceiling, if you will, that goes in the cafeteria that will wait probably another month or so before we start that. We just have to get all of our other finishes done. And all the messy stuff down below, like you're looking at right here, we got to clear that material out. And then we'll work on the clouds up high. And then other major work that we're doing, and the auditorium is coming along. As you saw tonight, we still have the staging installed, so it's not glamorous to look at from this perspective, but when you're in there and up on the second floor, you can see that a lot of work overhead has been done, a lot of rough-in, a lot of electrical, a lot of paint, a lot of duct work, and then we're moving on to, we'll be installing the ceilings in there as well, and then drop that staging that's in there to another level. And then the other big news for us is that up on the fourth floor, Media Center has actually come along really nicely too. That you see the wood ceiling there and the finished acoustical ceiling on either side of that. A lot of the, finished grills and things on the wall are coming along. The plywood there is actually just, it's the backup to the finish panels that will be going on there next, similar to up on the 4th and 3rd levels in the main corridors. So that there's a wood panel that goes onto those. So that's certainly not the finished condition there. But this space is coming along nicely. And then the other area we're excited about is on the 4th floor, we've started finished flooring in the classrooms and lab spaces. So we're going to increase the crew there. There's a lot of running room. Here's a typical classroom now with the floor down, making a big difference. So we're working our way through the 4th floor from C building to B to A, and then we'll drop down to the 3rd and 2nd floors with that work. So a little short of this month, but that's the big picture. We are still on schedule for the June 16th TCO, and then which will allow the school again to start the move-in process. We will start demolishing the pool and small gym April 1st. We've already started some preliminary exploration work there, working with Bill and Jason and their team on that. And then, like we keep saying, there's a ton of site work and exterior work to do next summer as well, but everything remains on schedule. Any questions?
National Grid and the gas company?
Yeah, so we have permanent power. National Grid worked with us. We don't have the permanent meter, but they worked with us to be able to jump the power through without the meter with their permission. So we have permanent power, and the electricians are systematically working through powering up different panels on different floors that feed the key mechanical equipment that we need for temp heat and air, and in general, permanent heat and permanent air in the building. And then the gas company completed their work. We had to weld our system to meet up with theirs. That work has been completed. We're hoping that it gets inspected tomorrow, and that the gas company, hopefully pretty soon, early next week, will be able to turn permanent gas onto the building, which will again help us to turn on permanent mechanical systems in the building and start the testing process. And that'll also help with temporary heat in the building.
Thank you, Steve. Any questions or comments from any of the committee members? Okay, then change logs. Where do you want to go next, Steve?
We have a change order we'd like approved, GCO number 15, and I will walk through quickly the GCRs associated with it. GCR 13 is power for radon fans. So this is the radon system below the slab, and the fans were not originally shown, so they weren't bought out. So that cost is $50,151.96. GCR 121 added ceiling trim in CIS lab. So this was a mechanical coordination needed to drop the ceiling a little bit in that room and add what's called some axiom trim around the perimeter to hide everything above the ceiling. That is $2,081.75. GCR 122 was added volleyball cross courts. So we went from one volleyball court in one direction to now potentially to have three with the correct markings on the floor, and there's also some custom logos added for that, and that is $10,713.07. GCR 124 plumbing shop revisions. So this is at the request of the school to add 2 additional hot and cold drops that will help the teacher and help them fill their systems as they're teaching and working on the plumbing in the classroom there. So that is $2,066.99. GCR 125 glass revisions at area C. So this was in the childcare area. The finished ceiling, you could see from the exterior, you could see above the finished ceiling. So we added a blank off or dark panel so that you wouldn't be able to see from the outside above the ceiling. And that is, I think I screwed up my number, sorry. The glass revisions is $2,066.99. The plumbing revisions was $12,763, the previous one, sorry about that. And then the last GCR 132 added fader wing. So this is an extension to the control panel in the auditorium to help with some of the audio and lighting. And that is $1,801.31. Grand total for GCO 15, $79,578.08. All of these GCRs were vetted by Consigli, Skanska, KBA, and any consultant required.
Thank you. Any questions on those items making up the change order 15? Okay, then, is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Let the record reflect that Mark Furtado and Jason Parento have joined us. So we'll call the rolls to see who's in favor. Dave Sawyer,
Yes.
Jason Parento,
Yes.
Jackie Romanicki,
Yes.
Jerry Freecott,
Yes.
Kelly Bennett,
Yes.
Bill Rooney,
Yes.
Terry DeSisto,
Yes.
Scott Domenici,
Yes.
Ed Stanton,
Yes.
Mark Furtado,
Yes.
Rob Geddes,
Yes.
Andrew Acosta.
Yes.
I vote yes. Mayor?
Yes.
It's unanimous. Okay, where do you want to go next, Steve?
Quickly, just to report that good news, there are no additional GCRs to discuss this month, which is always a good thing.
Yay.
But we do have some contingency transfers we'd like approval on. Again, just a reminder, contingency transfers do not increase the GMP at all. We have money set aside, so we're just transferring money from that budget for these items. There are 4 of them. GCT 18, this one's been out there for a while. It's roof edge coordination and patching. This was some work that was done a long time ago. It was a sequencing item, mostly due to safety and being able to erect the majority of the roof safely and then coordinate the actual permanent roof edge construction. So it was a sequencing thing done on time and materials, and that adds up to $49,466.50. GCT 032 revised detail at column wraps. This is up in the corridors on the 4th, 3rd, 2nd floor, where there's wall tile and then there's finished wood columns. And based on installing the tile first, there's a gap between the wood finish and the wall tile that KBA wanted us to fill in. So we added a small piece of poplar and painted that so that it looks more finished and you don't see an unfinished gap there. So that is $33,343.10. GCT 040 spray fireproofing at penthouse stairs in area B. So this was just unprocured scope and required to maintain the rating per code in those 2 at the top, the very top of those 2 stairs in B building. So the top section of decking, that is $9,657.04. GCT 043 CMU wall revisions at stair F11. So this was changing from CMU to drywall, $10,993.22. And I lied, we did have one more that we wanted to sneak in that got approved today. GCT 046, room name and number revisions. So this was the building controls and building management system for the majority of the HVAC system. We had moved forward with programming because just it's an extensive effort. And so we moved forward with the programming, and then there's some name changes to rooms and room number changes. So we had to go back and the subcontractor had to adjust some of the programming. So that is $20,177.30. Again, these are also vetted out by Consigli, Skanska, and KBA, and they've all approved those as well. And again, these are contingency transfers that do not increase the GMP.
Okay, anybody have any questions on those? Then do you need a motion to approve those?
I do, please.
Move to approve.
Second.
I'll call the roll. Those in favor, Dave Sawyer,
Yes.
Jason Parento,
Yes.
Jackie Romanicki,
Yes.
Jerry Freecott,
Yes.
Kelly Bennett,
Yes.
Bill Rooney,
Yes.
Terry DeSisto,
Yes.
Scott Domenici,
Yes.
Ed Stanton,
Yes.
Mark Furtado,
Yes.
Rob Geddes,
Yes.
Andrew Acosta.
Yes.
I vote yes. Mayor?
Yes.
Thank you. It's all passed unanimously. Any other new matters you want to talk to us about on these logs, Steve?
Just the one potential GCT in the future is some additional roof edge coordination and patching. Just like GCT 18, there's some sections of roof on the south side. We have this same sequencing issue. It certainly is not going to be the dollar amount that we just approved, but there's still a little bit coming there to finish that work.
Okay,
Other than that, nothing else new.
good. I see on the agenda the allowance logs. Do you have any comments on the allowance logs?
Yeah, just a general comment is that we continue to stay under the overall allowance budget. And I say that because there's plus and minuses along the way. There's some that we're saving on, there's some that we're going over budget on, but we're able to transfer some funds around so that overall we're in good shape. We're still under budget. Our biggest concern right now is anything related to temporary heat and fuel for the winter, which, we all know can, depending on the weather, we might need a little extra fuel. And with fuel prices doing what they're doing, it's something we're mindful of. We're not over budget at this point. It's just something to keep an eye on the next few months.
Okay. Do you have anything else you want
Jack,
to? Go ahead.
Yeah,
Steve.
I just should have pointed out, Corey Wild is with Consigli. He's on the call tonight. You might just see more faces from Consigli as we progress the next few months. 'Cause I got nervous because you guys were starting to outnumber me. No, just another set of eyes and ears from Consigli on these calls, that's all.
Okay. Steve, I have a memory from this morning, but it's fading. Was there another matter that we needed to take a vote on tonight?
I think it was just when the February meeting was going to be, Jack. I thought,
Well, no, I thought there was something, and I can't remember what it was. Do you remember, Mary Ann?
No, I'm not sure what it was, Jack, unless it had to do with
Oh, I
voting
know.
on.
Did we have to take a vote to approve furniture purchases?
Yes, that's right.
So that wouldn't be Steve. Would that be you or
No.
Antoinette, or is that Jeremy? Where are we on the furniture issue, Mary Ann?
Where we are with the furniture is that, we would recommend that there be a total value for the procurement of FF&E, for 3.6, not to exceed number of 3.6 million. We are slightly under that right now, but we're finalizing the numbers. And with that approval of a not to exceed number, we could provide the actual number probably by the end of, if not this week, next week. I know that Jeremy is also working diligently on this as well. So that will be the request here for 3.6 million not to exceed number for FF&E.
And if I remember right from our financial meeting this morning, the urgency of this is that there are price increases scheduled for the first of the year. And if we are able to get
Correct.
our order placed before then, we can avoid those price increases.
That's correct. We were asked by the vendors because of the holidays to get the purchase orders out, whichever ones we can, by December 20th, which is next Monday. And I know that the city has been working diligently on pulling that information together.
I believe Jeremy and Carol Brown both are working on that, correct, Jeremy?
Yeah, if I could just provide a little bit more context too, it's a large purchase, right? We're talking $3.6 million. we are using something called the Massachusetts Higher Education Consortium, which is K through 12 and post-secondary education institutions who, through this consortium, they go through all the public procurement responsibilities and then have large contracts akin to a state contract that we could purchase off of, and it cuts down on our procurement timelines. It's from what we've learned in the past couple of weeks, it's an excellent way to procure materials. It's just one of our, at least on the city side's, first time using this purchasing method. So we just wanted to make sure we were comfortable administratively. Went over with staff at MHEC, crossing our T's, dotting our I's, and I think the lion's share of the work has been done. And we just have a little bit more to do at the end of this week and start of next. So we're endeavoring for the 20th for everything.
Great.
So we need a motion to authorize the city to place furniture orders not to exceed $3.6 million.
So moved.
Second?
Is there any further discussion? I'll call the roll of those in favor. Dave Sawyer,
Yes.
Jason Parento,
Yes.
Jackie Romanicki,
Yes.
Jerry Freecut,
Yes.
Kelly Bennett,
Yes.
Bill Rooney,
Yes.
Terry DeSisto,
Yes.
Scott Domenici,
Yes.
Ed Stanton,
Yes.
Mark Furtado,
Yes.
Rob Geddes,
Yes.
Andrew Acosta.
Yes.
I vote yes, and Mayor?
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Is there anything else that we need? Oh, I know, the monthly budget summary. Is Internet not with us? Mary Ann, are you doing that tonight, or?
Yes, I am. Anjanette had put together the document, and what I'd like to do is just give you a higher level overview of where we are. Right now, we're looking at percent complete. Skanska has billed 60%. Looking at Castle Booze, they have billed 80% complete. Consigli has invoiced up to 69% of the contract with an average percent complete of 68% for the project. When I look across the overall total contract for, total budget actually, is $259,918,180. We have previous invoices at a total of $170,206,283. With this current invoice, we are adding to that another $6,251,334 for a total invoice to date of $366,804. And the balance remaining across all the disciplines that we just talked about is $83,051,883. So we're well along the way in the progress towards completion of the project.
And this morning, before the regular OAC meeting, we held our now sort of monthly financial meeting. And is it fair to say that we are still on budget? We heard Steve say we're on time. Are we still on budget, Marianne?
Yes, we're on budget, and we've been very judicious here about, as we get past certain risk in the project, that we're able to redeploy certain dollars towards change orders and some of the items, including furniture, to the benefit of the project. So we've been managing this very closely with the assistance of the design team and the construction manager. So this has been a collaborative effort here, and very good process for us, because we really, we're really looking at this on a regular basis, weekly, about where we are, and progressing very well. So I think that the city is being represented very well by all parties here.
Okay, thank you. Anything else before we get to the bills that you want to present?
Nope, that's all that I had.
Okay. Craig or Joe, if you're on, is there anything you want to add from the architect's standpoint?
Joe's on. Craig is not able to get on. No, things moving along very well. I enjoyed the tour today. I think everything looks really great.
Excellent. Okay, then I suppose we should pay the bills. Mary Ann, you're recommending the Castle Booze bill and the Consigli bill, correct?
Yes, I recommend that they be approved.
And Jeremy, you're okay with the Skanska bill, Briggs, STV, DPM, and SGH?
Yes, and just a comment on the non-Skanska bills there, Briggs, STV, and SGH. Skanska reviews those before they head over to me and go on the agenda. So yeah, we're good with all of those.
Excellent. So is there a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? I'll call the roll. Those in favor, Dave Sawyer,
Yes.
Jason Parento,
Yes.
Jackie Romanicki,
Yes.
Jerry Freacott, Kelly Bennett,
Yes.
Bill Rooney,
Yes.
Terry DeSisto,
Yes.
Scott Domenici,
Yes.
Ed Stanton,
Yes.
Mark Furtado,
Yes.
Rob Geddes,
Yes.
Andrew Acosta.
Yes.
I vote yes, and Mayor?
Yes.
Okay, that's passed unanimously. So I just want to say that this is the final meeting for Kelly Bennett because she's moving on to bigger and better things as the Ward 2 representative on the Municipal Council. And so we will miss you. We thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And Mayor, you'll need to appoint someone to take her place.
Yeah, I'm open for suggestions.
Okay, very
So
good.
if anybody has any favorites, if anybody they think might be a good fit, just let me know.
Okay. So our next meeting is January 12th, and then our February meeting will be on the 16th, not on the 9th, because the way the month falls, the financial people have asked that we meet on the 16th so that they can make sure that we have the requisition in order. So does anybody have anything else before I take a motion to adjourn?
Yeah, I had a quick question
Sure.
for Steve. At one of our previous meetings, and I apologize if you've updated us and I'm just not remembering, but there was a crack in the floor in the cafeteria. If I remember correctly, the guess was that it was a result of the materials that were being stored there, but we weren't 100% sure. I just wanted to make sure that that was addressed and that was indeed determined to be the factor, and it's not something that will be a long-term concern.
And Rob, the other issue was the cracking tile in the kitchen area, and both of those, I think we're pleased to report, are resolved. Steve, would you explain both of those?
Yeah, so we'll start with Rob. The crack in the floor. The structural engineer came out and determined that it was most likely due to a detail, what's called a keyway, was not installed, and then the slab curled just from curing. So not due to any materials or anything else. It was just the way it curls because it cures too quickly on the surface. So there's a fix available for that. We are just waiting until we do a lot of the up high work and get all the lifts and material out of the way to complete that fix there. So that's not a long-term thing. It shouldn't happen again, Rob. And then the ceramic tile, in culinary, we did have a very long meeting to go through that and the findings, and there's a report forthcoming, but it certainly seems like the culprit is the backup system to the ceramic tile. So we are, that's going to be reinstalled with some additional fasteners. It does not appear to be any cost to the project at this point, unless we decide to, beef up some detail. But it doesn't appear to be anything from a design standpoint that caused the crack. It was more of a installation or a construction issue.
So the subcontractor has stepped up to the plate and agreed to bear the cost, correct?
Yeah, at this point, yes.
And if
Awesome.
I remember right,
Thank you, Steve.
this SGH bill that we're paying is for our consultant to make that determination. I think that's correct, Jeremy, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So, thank you, Rob, for bringing that up because that is good news on both fronts. Anybody have anything else?
See, Rob, that's why I need reinforcements. That's why Corey's here. You're asking tough questions like that.
It happens every once in a while, right? Thank you.
Anybody have anything else?
No.
Then my phone says it's 6:06. We'll take a motion to adjourn at 6:06.
So moved. Second?
Those in favor, Dave Sawyer,
Yes.
Jason Parento,
Yes.
Jackie Romanicki,
Yes.
Jerry Freecut,
Yes.
Kelly Bennett,
Yes.
Bill Rooney,
Yes.
Terry DeSisto,
Yes.
Scott Domenici,
Yes.
Ed Stanton, Mark Furtado,
Yes.
Rob Geddes,
Yes.
Andrew Acosta.
Yes.
I vote yes, said Mayor.
Yes.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.